You can still tell me about it.
Sambil ini ya guys ya, sambil YouTubean, bro.
G2 has been looking really well for a while now, and Sentinels, like, they've shown they can readapt and bring something new because they're playing a lot of deadlock right now, right? So
yes.
That's super new to the meta. That's super new from all
Gue
the teams
sambil
that we've been
nonton
seeing
Bang
You guys are one of the
Sentinel.
first, right, on Lotus?
Yes, yes.
Some good times.
Aduh,
Times, man.
I need the food, bro.
But I don't know. I mean, G2, I think it's right now one of the best teams in NA
I need
for
the
sure. And 100
food.
Thieves, I think it's kind of like
Oh, ada nih.
they're not adapting as well right now. 100 Thieves, like they're reusing some old stuff, and that's why we kind of like beat them in a way.
Sure.
And like we have to see because Sentinels is playing really well, and they're bringing like a lot of new tech. So yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, that's the really interesting thing about Sentinels is because they have like the multiple comps they can play on some maps like Lotus, right? Because they played Deadlock way back at the start of stage two. Then we're switching to some more like natural things, the breach in there, and then go back to the Deadlock. So it's very interesting to see how their practice has given them that added element of flexibility. Whereas a team like 100 Thieves, even on their standout maps, now there's just so much tape on that team that teams know almost exactly what they're going to get.
And we're going to throw over to a quick chat featuring so much New Jersey that basically every intersection with a 5-mile radius has had a car accident. So let's see if brought up the second.
Championship points for played throughout the year. Is that a relief, a pressure? Is that confident going to today's game?
The points are definitely nice to have, but I would prefer not to qualify with them. I'd rather qualify by winning to get to the tournament, but they're definitely nice to have.
I just want to ask you, it's something I've noticed on your social media. Anytime you lose as a team, you seem on social media to take losses pretty seriously. You know, that like that's on me, etc., etc. Talk to me about that. Do you take them seriously? Is that trolling? How do you recover from a loss?
I always take losses pretty seriously, but just take a good amount of time to get a good reset and get ready for the next one.
Well, best of luck today.
All right, so let's talk about the Pride of New Jersey here for a moment. Zekken, his role obviously on Sentinels, and also like how he went in that G2 game, right? Because he's definitely someone that Sentinels need to be leading from the front.
Yeah, of course. It was pretty odd to see that he actually kind of got duelisted by Icy, who for the most part is more of the system duelist that we haven't been, hyping up too much in regard to his individual play versus Zekken, who kind of does it all. That was the first time we've really seen
Zekken the best
falter.
duelist in the world, like after Madrid, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was against G2 a rare low point for what otherwise has been a year of all highs for one of the best players in the world right now.
Yeah, and I would even say, like, even after Sentinels came back and were struggling a bit, like, Zekken is still a guy that I rate super, super highly on this roster, but is a player that needs to perform. Now that they're in this situation where it's single elimination, you come in with an off-day Zekken, and you're in serious trouble against a team like 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I would say, like, they rely a lot of him. Like, if he's not fragging, it's gonna be super hard to win. Because, like, most of the firepower is between him and Ten sometimes. So if he's not delivering, like, it's gonna be super rough for them.
And we've seen that, of course, in the past and against G2 as well. Another team who definitely likes to rely on their duelists to get stuff done. We can talk about 100 Thieves here who've been in a slump, and similar to that Sentinels stage 1 slump, right? Getting back after Madrid. They've lost 3 matches in its stage 2, and they also got reverse swept by Loud just coming off this. So plenty to talk about here. They look like they had a really strong start. That ascent map, right? They look very good. You guys really started to sort of choke the game out a bit, and especially that bind showing.
I mean, yeah, like, we pretty much had it under control. I'm not gonna lie, like, the first map we don't talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, right.
Never happened.
Never happened, of course. But, like, we understand how 100 Thieves is calling, how they're, like, doing all the stuff they want to do. So for us, it was kind of like, okay, we know how to counter this. Don't get nervous. We know what, like, if they do this, they're gonna do that. And I think that's one of the problems they have right now. Like, they're too predictable in what they do. So yeah, they're gonna have to change it for playoffs, because if not, they're just gonna get rolled.
You feel like their bind especially is starting to get figured out?
Yeah, it's the same bind like for a month now. So yeah, it's kind of like easy to read. Yeah.
I'm curious what some of those reads you have on them are on their bind. Like, what are those things that you find so predictable in their play?
So if this is gonna be silly, right? But like, they're going B long, right? So if they go up to the orb, it's gonna be 100% an exec on B. That's the first tell. If they dog showers on A, it's gonna be an exec A.
Okay.
So it's kind of like these tailings, they're not switching up, like they're not hiding those tailings, and it's always kind of like the same. So yeah.
So teams should, in theory, be able to like lean very heavily off of that type
exactly.
of information.
Fast rotations, TP rotations. So it's a lot of those techs you can have against them.
Well, let's get a 100 Thieves vibe check right now and hear what Boostio had to say to Elizabeth leading up to this game.
All right, now Boostio, last match you were starting out really, really strong, and then just Loud kind of came and ran with it. What happened?
I mean, realistically, I think on bind, we just kind of threw on the attack side. We just didn't play it properly like we normally do. I think the Ascent was super dominant, so that was good to see, 13-1. So we just need to just play confident, just play to our game plan.
Is mentality different for today's matches?
I don't think mentality is different. I think we come in with the same mentality every day, just trying to win. We just need to...
Kurang ya? Kurang cocok ya jalanannya.
Confidence. Now I'm going to need you to look into the camera and give me your Boostio prediction, a prediction, if you will, about the 4 teams from Americas that will make it to champs.
Us, of course.
Ini bagus nih. Jaketnya aja lah kan.
10. And then I'll go Crew G2. We'll beat Sen today.
Enggak jadi deh. Enggak jadi cok.
And then level lose out in uppers and then to lowers.
Jelek banget itu.
Sen will make it. Or Sen won't make it.
Sen won't make it. Sorry, Sen City.
Don't ask a player like what's going to happen to anything outside of what his team is doing. Like they're so locked in at the moment. They can't be thinking about the periphery. Well, we just talked about Zekin on Sentinels and how critical he is. I think we should be talking about Cryo because we actually bring this up a ton of times on the cast. Like Cryo has like what a 1.33 KD in stage 1, and then it's like at 0.9 in stage 2. This is his performance over the course of ECC 2024. ACS is the y-axis, and obviously time is on that x-axis here. And you can see a big peak just before Shanghai, and then well, it's a little bit
into Shanghai. That first game they had against Foot is when he torched them on bind, dropped like 30 something on
Brimstone, right?
And then after that, steep drop off, and it's been tumultuous in stage 2, but in those last 2 games started to pick things up a bit. I mean, sadly for you, you don't have to watch this if you don't want to.
I want to close my eyes.
about what Cryo was doing with the off here.
Yeah, I would say like every time he's on Jet, it's just so annoying. It's impossible to deal with him. That's the thing that bothers me on 100 Tips. Like if I were him, I would just like just play Jet every single map. You know, like do your thing and whatever you have to do, just, I don't know, the team, Arsenal can play whatever, you know, but just put him on Jet, Jesus Christ. He's amazing.
Now, there's been a ton of chat. Like, we love making rivalries, right? We've got 2 highly clouted teams. We want them to be rivals. It's kind of editorializing. This is a classic NA matchup, and it does always fill the arena. Shout out to everybody down there in the stands, but it's actually not much of a rivalry at all when you look at the history between them.
Yeah. Basically, 100 Thieves don't win. They've got a win in 2022 in LCQ, and they were popping off back with Hiko.
I mean,
like this team
2020,
diffing Sentinels with Hiko.
That's crazy. 2 big wins. Wow, twice in the first strike, NA closed qualifier.
It's like EU here as well doesn't want to hear about a rivalry here. I think that's the last thing the 100 Thieves are really thinking about.
Honestly, if they lose to Sen again today, I think Steel is coming for Bustio's job.
No.
He's coming right back.
No, Steel's coming back because he didn't get the frozen yogurt offer like Nade Shot made to Bustio. He said, if you guys are, you know.
I mean, speaking of Nade Shot, he's in the comments of that tweet like, wait, is this real? Like, he doesn't even realize that they've been getting smoked for 2+ years.
I think the last 100 Thieves win was, LCQ. That was when Shroud was on Sentinels.
Yeah.
That's how far back we're getting.
Bro, I'm feeling so old. What's happening?
And if it makes you feel old, then imagine how I feel. Yeah, it was a very long time ago. Listen, I think it's safe to say that odds are favouring Sentinels here. Definitely the historical data has favoured them. I'd say the form of that team as well
100%.
Puts them in a better position, right?
Yeah, Sentinels have been much hotter in stage 2, right? Sentinels had the big fall off after they won in Madrid, but then, you know, stage 1 was a disaster. Stage 2, they pop off. 100 Thieves, the same thing happens when they come back from Masters, where they really struggle here in stage 2. They haven't beaten a team in playoffs in stage 2. They've only got 2 wins, and they're against teams that weren't able to advance. This team is in some dire straits right now.
Have they had enough time to step up, like, to work on this pool?
Ntar coba ganti cari celananya lah, ada apakah ada yang lebih cocok ya? Siapa tahu ya kan? Mentok anjing.
Something new might have an edge, but like it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be super hard.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot, of course, to be asking for from this team. The stage is set though, folks. Now, neither of these teams are necessarily eliminated here. Champion points are important, but it's time to send it down to the stage and get this one underway, folks. Let's get it on.
Riot Games Arena, it's time for the NA Classico, a battle between two of the region's best teams. Make some noise for your Sentinels!
Duh.
And their opponents fighting for a spot at Champions in Seoul. Make some noise for 100 Thieves!
Kagak ada ya?
Now, folks, we've established that this isn't a rivalry, but by God, it could be. Both of these teams are still on the docket, at least in the postseason here, potentially for champions. But a lot rides on today's match. We've talked a lot about a very suspect map pool here for 100
Betul
Thieves.
dinnek ya,
They have
guys.
their playoffs best, but they're going to have to bring that into the game.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've got the best team from kickoff versus the best team from stage one, and with a brand new map pool too. Split is gone for Sentinels. That is a major loss, and the question remains: how much time, how much work has been done into a map like Abyss for these two teams, if that even enters the pool?
For sure. I'm excited to see as well what Sentinels will be bringing out
It's
here
coming.
in regard to some of their comps, because they've been switching things up. And yeah, we've got Abyss at the end. No bind for the first time many weeks in a row for 100 Thieves.
I remember having been one of the best maps for 100 Thieves last year. So I think like they know, they have an understanding of how the map works. So I think they can take that from Sentinels. I see Sentinels more like, I don't know, like it's weird when they play Heaven because I play against them, you know?
Yes. I mean, I remember some Sentinels versus Crew Haven stuff from way back in the day, but honestly, 100 Thieves in stage 2, Haven looked really shaky to me. They were playing like the weird KO comp for a couple of games, then started banning it away themselves.
Just a straight up ascent comp.
Yeah,
it
was very strange, and I'm expecting them now
They know.
3-4 weeks since they played it to have made
They
some
know how to
adjustments.
fix it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they know.
Okay.
I'm betting they know. I'm 100%. Yes.
He's confident.
Confidence.
All right, here's our agent select here. We have Sova Breach on the side of Sentinels here.
Very standard for Sentinels from what we've been seeing on Haven in 2024 so far since it's back in the pool.
I just want to know if it's KO. Like, that's literally it. Like, did 100 Thieves adjust with this comp, or did they completely pivot in the time they've had since they've played it?
Whoa! This is a challenge comp! This is a Friday esports comp, boys!
Okay, I was gonna say we're EMEA now, but you know, it's same difference.
We were seeing this a month ago.
EMEA NA Tier 2.
Anjing Asuna ISO. Asuna Yoru Rayu ISO, cok.
Yes, post nerf.
Oh my. Okay, Cry, you have my respects.
Betul anjing.
With Jet, now you're gonna have it.
All right, you heard it here first. Sarnak is doling out his respect to 100 Thieves. The winner of this one moves on to face G2 tomorrow, and the loser is officially, potentially eliminated for playoffs. We're ready for map number 1, so let's head over your casters. It's Vansili and Riff.
Thank you so much, Uber, and indeed now, Riv, this is it, the final lap now of the VCT America circuit, a do-or-die game now between Sentinels and 100 Thieves, and sometimes when it's a do-or-die game, you gotta pull out all stops, and we're seeing now a little bit of MEA, a little bit of whatever, but it's definitely something that Fnatic's been pulling out lately.
Yeah, we saw Fnatic running this comp recently, and it looks like Thieves want to get a little crazy on this. ISO not something we've seen Cryo playing at all, so he's gonna try his hand at that. Asuna might have this Yoru play way back when in a game. Yeah, they're definitely dipping into something new on this one, and we'll see if Sentinels is going to be ready. We got a best of 3 ahead of us right here as we get our next game of playoffs going. It's Sentinels versus 100 Thieves on Ava.
And remember here, points do matter, but they definitely want to secure and take control of their own destiny for these two teams. Both of them trying to lock a top 3 podium to make it into Champions as Seoul. And now with this pistol round, it's only going to be tense against the whole world trying to lock up here. A 4-1 split round for these start. There's a first round is going to have to slow things down here by the shuttle. And he lost the steady against
Yeah, everybody's trying to find out right off the bat.
And that's how we start. Osno with the first blood here in this pistol round. Shocker straight towards that back. It's more than damage. Celsius for a win. Does get position, but he's also left on a ball. Should this combo get those switch sets this a minute and bang goes for the point. So Celsius is just like this time. He's so
Playing close, even taking down the smokes right away. They decide to stay in sight. Celsius gets banged. Cryo falls too.
and that's what happens. You don't check the corner, but Asno's there for that second blood for the Thieves in this post plat. A 3 versus 3, and we're a little bit separated now for the last 2 players of Sentinels. It goes back and forth, but John Cuny's alone. Back to a 1v1. 10 HP. EU has a recon dart who throws it back towards
Halo,
the
Zer.
right. John Cuny pushes down with the
Zer?
Satu paket bebas.
Satu paket ya?
Yoi.
Boleh di win mau berapa, Sir?
36.
Inside the site. Sentinels as well playing a few mind games, putting more numbers in the site. Zelsis was kind of play the ghost spot, right? If they've already killed 10s, they're not expecting Zelsis, but they didn't get as much of a payoff out of that, I think, as they wanted here.
Boleh dibayar dulu, Sir?
Sudah.
Oke, bentar ya, Sir.
Yo.
Recoup their positioning. Find this last kill from EU here. EU has had some stellar games lately, and especially when he starts off on those clutches, gets him going right away.
Definitely one of the most consistent players, 400 Thieves, going into Shanghai until now in EU, winning that 1v1 against a John Cuny, a Frag and IGL, who's also very good in the clutch. So a great start for 100 Thieves.
All right, back to C. We won't do it again. It's kind of the mentality that 100 Thieves is playing on, and they should be able to walk in safely here, knowing Sentinels is going to play a death ball somewhere on the map. They're right about that. It's at A, and that knowledge should come to Boostio if the rotation even goes through spawn.
It's in a great spot right here, but remember that tweet that came out that was shown at the desk. 14 clashes between these two teams throughout the years. Of course, different iterations of rosters, but in the end, these wins from 100 Thieves had always been in elimination games against the Sentinels, knocking them out of first strike, knocking them out of the LCQ.
Just at the right moment.
Exactly, and this might be another right moment right here. But action back now towards the C side of Flood retake. Paranoia to start things first, and Sentinels, though, somehow score the first 2 kills. This is going to leave EU alone. Gets a blind kill, and it swings out from Zelsis. Chances raining back now for the Sentinels. A stick on to the spike, but stop by bang. Long range with the classic. Gusto cannot get the lurk, but that clock is ticking down here with all the kills. In the end, it's still 100 Thieves win.
Dapat, cok. Ya, nggak dapet anjir.
Feel good heading into the bonus here. And I love the way Sentinels played it on the retake, kind of a nothing to lose as they head in, all behind each other with confidence on those takes. And yeah, a lot of firefights happening right off the bat. As it seems like 100 Thieves, we'll see in the gun rounds here, but they're playing inside the site fully with this composition that they're bringing to the table. We have not seen a long C fight yet on those C plants. Towards A here for the bonus round. Already, Asuna has this ultimate. So plants, orbs, kills, only 3 there. So you know he's picking them up somewhere else. A little feint towards A here as they start to make some noise outside B. And it does look like they'll happily send a clone garage to try and make some plays happen, but it's sewers where it
Udah
starts
nggak
off.
expect itu ada 2 orang.
Is not afraid to walk down and get their individual duels. But now you see the shield coming up and also the dimensional drift. They're gonna spot that onto Sasi, who's able to run away and get 2 kills on top of that.
Ini untuk makanannya. Dan ini untuk minumannya. Terima kasih, Sir.
Thank you.
Oke.
Anjing, kesedot banget ya FPS ya. Cok ini. Lihat cuaca apa ini anjing.
Toying with the garage. Last round it was the Yoru clone that went through. Now they play it slow. Bustio seems like he's actually trying to figure out the map right now. Take all this time to see where that util might be and where he might be able to make Sentinels think about these future rounds.
Exactly. Breaking now and wasting the util garage, breaking in alarm bot. You see this peeling away the two players from Sentinels, but unfortunately, exactly, he walks through two players waiting towards the window. He gets picked off, and the rest of Sentinels could really kind of stay towards this A site, even wait for their teammates to come back to secure the round. But at least the silver lining for the 100 Thieves is that they get the plant down.
And it's smart from Sentinels. Their retake has always been amazing. Although out of the map pool, just think of how they play split. A site's given up, and then they can just swarm it from different positions and seemingly take down their opponent.
These would be putting all the util at just something. The right handle bit by that paranoia thrown by Pence. Trying to get a larger shot, pushing through the smoke. There you go. Lucem falling down. Isolate on different fights.
Cier kagak guna nih cowok mod tuh dipakai kayak gini nih, bro.
Something here with Saucy backing him up.
And they activated the shield.
Let's go.
Instantly fall towards the A side. Beautiful picks coming out from 100 Thieves as soon as the cage came down, and that's an open site. 4 grabs for the Thieves.
In 100 Thieves, you just mentioned it, the iso at garage. What was Bustio doing last round? Into garage, front of B, into garage. Keeping members of Sentinels over towards that side of the map with different players at different times. Is it enough this time, though? The retakes from Sentinels have been so strong. 100 Thieves continues to fall in this post-plant situation.
It'll be very difficult, too. You already see EU posted up towards the sewers with the Hunter's Fury as a last resort, and especially after John Judy falls. IGL versus IGL from a one-way smoke thrown by Bang. You can see the last two players trying to fall back. Flash being thrown, but Tens was always ready for that. Diffing now Asuna. And giving a chance here for the last few players of the Sentinels to attempt to save their weapons here in the pulse plan. We see somebody's on a hunt so far. Some heal here. Don't have too much economy to work with, so this is a high risk here for 100 Thieves. Gonna drop these weapons, and it works out for the first pick. But the rest, the last player tens, is going to be okay.
Yeah, look at that. It's like, you look at the scoreboard there for who went down 100 Thieves at the end, and it was the duelist. It's kind of the way this thing needs to happen, right? Those two up front making plays, causing distractions, while the initiators and the sentinels, the rest of the teams following up on that chaos, on that action, on the shape of the duelists. Still helping out the team, getting ready for some of these. Take that 1-point lead, Blade Storm for second here as they can get a little bit of money econ saved on that.
They're going to try to fault line here and potentially push down. Blade Storm activated by Zekin. Just looking for that timing. Zekin's there at that contact. Down to 8 HP. The swing out from Tens. He drops 2.
So big.
Bang, though, answers back. Spike still available to get picked up. But that's a great first contact now for the Sentinels on their defensive side.
Half coverage is there. And again, they move Zelsis around with the breach. It's not used immediately on that sewer. So very reactive play from Sentinels here in some situations, and set protocols like that the 100 Thieves have to be ready for. Down 3v4.
Trying to walk contact up. Second, early with the classic left, but definitely do see has probably a blade or two left. Nonetheless, Plant comes down. Bang TPing away and keeping the last 2 players inside the site. Hunter's Fury also not positioned to play long range, so it's a fake cancel to fight towards the spawn.
Alright, lockdown's there. It does kind of pin Boostio in out. He's gonna make it out. Up to Bang to cake one down instantly. Here's the Hunter's Fury's gonna drop 1 in seconds. Just in line with it, catching a pie to the face.
And Bang's inside the smoke. Boostio's towards the back of the platform. Connects with another kill. And now Zelsis is left alone. 1 versus 3. Wall bang by EU. And the Hunter's Fury was everything there for the 100 Thieves conversion of the close line.
What a play. A little bit of a mishap. An error picked up by the side of 100 Thieves. Nicely done there to collect the kill with the Hunter's Fury. Able to deny the lockdown too. Because that would have been a good round for 100 Thieves to get back. And this round for round would have been 3-3 to get that momentum back. But it's not. 100 Thieves pull away. And these C hits have been so aggressive. We haven't seen them fully push in to spawn or into garage and stay there. But they are just staying in C and making it very hard for any util that the Sentinels is using to work.
And how was that heads-up play there from EU? You saw from that post plan, he was already holding towards the spawn. And once that lockdown went through, it's like, okay, what should I do here at this point? Should I fight towards the spawn? Ran all the way back. And he was still inside the radius of that lockdown to just pull out the Hunter's Fury and do whatever he can here to hopefully or break the lockdown and get kills. And he's done both.
So Sentinels call a timeout here. What do we see? They are trying strategy. They are trying to push themselves forward. Consider that against 100 Thieves composition, if that fault line and that detection doesn't work, 100 Thieves is going to strike back 10 times harder with these duelists, with the speed that they can hit a site and then continue to follow up on each other. So anything the Sentinels does do, they almost have to hit a few players or do some chip damage, or 100 Thieves is going to feel so confident to go forward.
And it's also crazy now with this 100 Thieves we've seen for the past few rounds where they're using and setting a lot of the paranoia with Asuna, with the decoys coming out, Gate Crash to go away, but also Cryo selling fakes with the shield coming up too. So there are doing some great default to try to keep just Sentinels pinned up in these locations so they can fight in the weak side with more numbers. So Sentinels off this timeout. Maybe it's for them to try to find more aggression, more map control at the beginning of these rounds to not allow 100 Thieves to work that map so well and so easily.
Get a little bit of early control on A main, but still, they're loving seeing Boostio. Just a quick swing on Saucy right there, who's been hot on the first shot. Saucy goes down, and C is already taken by 100 Thieves.
They're trying to play it. Instead of waiting for the rotate across, but here comes the kill contract. It does grab 1, and it's 10 winning against Cryo. So give it a chance here for Sentinels to fight inside the garage. John Cutie with the headshot onto Boostio. Revenge from the last time they faced off against each other a couple of rounds ago. And that actually gives a huge advantage for the Sentinels to have a 2-player up.
Great, and Boostio was the first kill on this round to Saucy, right? And then just a turnaround on the Sentinels on the other side of the map. And it looks like John Cutie and the team are reading 4v2 is still a possibility here for 100 Thieves. The Sentinels are going to play this one close to the chest.
Start off with a recon play. Since they don't have soft C, it's a TP from Tens. That's going to spot Asuna, which will then engage the Paranoia in a flood retake for the Sentinels. There it is on that default, both avoided by EU and Asuna. Another attempt to clutch, but to no avail. Sentinels with a clean retake towards the end, and they're going to keep this game close.
Only 2 rounds 100 Thieves get as they try to stretch the lead, and Sentinels start to creep back into it. It's so crazy. I don't know if momentum was really going to count here. I think it's almost a trick in this series because it could look like a team has 5 rounds of momentum, but shots like this, Sentinels read the play, and it starts to go back the other way, and that momentum is lost. See if they can continue it. That's a post plant they get for themselves, and really where they're only finding the wins. If you look at the scoreboard, it's not coming from kills.
Alhamdulillah.
Get into the site and completely push out the 100 Thieves members. Asuna's ultimate back up. Second one we're getting in this half. I don't think we have any much to rebuttal here from the side of Sentinels. First, slower round we're seeing here from 100 Thieves.
Trying to use potentially a decoy or shield, something to break Util once again inside the garage. There's that decoy, spots a turret, wastes out the first nanoswarm, and it's been the story pretty much so far for 100 Thieves. Those nanoswarms that are popped very early from that util coming out from Asuna doesn't give them too much to hold towards the seaside after.
And normally loss of garage doesn't feel bad, but for some reason the way 100 Thieves is playing it, it kind of feels bad for Sentinels, right? Usually you either play site or just in back of garage, but the way that 100 Thieves is exploiting that, or they push somewhere else or use garage for fake info, has been really, really good. So a minute left in this round, they're going back to toying with this utility at the front side of B as they're still all the way across the map. And no gate crash to travel either.
Right now,
Cing, gelap banget, Cok. Ini jam berapa sih? Oh, jam 1 malam, jadi.
Trying to fight back, but that pesky shield up from Cryo gives a chance now for 100 Thieves to convert the round and continue the lead by 2.
Okay, that was an incredibly sick play. Asuna goes through, hides in above sewers, activates, comes back out, and then you see how pinched Zekin actually is. There was almost fear in his movement of where can he take the first fight to make it the correct play. And that smoke in front of Cryo in that situation. Sorry, Asuna was so smart. I believe that was a smoke from them. Yeah, so nice. It was actually a smoke that came from the side of Sentinel, so it was very helpful. They thought they were helping Zekin get out, but it helped the fight happen at sewers. So 100 Thieves playing off that one. Do not let Sentinels get too much more off of their last round win. But this push from Zekin, he is trying to change the flow of the game for Sentinels. Somebody has to at this point. It seems like 100 Thieves will just keep creeping away one round after the other.
That's been the story here, always on pretty much a one and done here for Zekin. You've seen him push down towards sewers, long C this time, under the window. But that's going to give good information here because there's no camera there. For them, Sentinels, they have potentially an inkling that this is just going to be a fast hit, and it starts off indeed with a great hit, a great read, but Saucy still approaches the mark.
Feels ready for this flank too. 2 of them coming through.
Buddy system. John Cooney now meeting up with Zekin. He's just playing the off angle. There's a ping there, at least onto the trip. There's a swing out. Zekin wins that fight quite easily. Aljon trying to clear, trying to find some info. A 4 versus 4. And the first one to start things off, it's that long, big paranoia. Meanwhile, though, we've lost a player on the defensive side in the sewers as Celsius is now blocked off by a dark cover of the Omen. Asuna with the spray onto Zekin, and that's not going to give any chance for Celsius to move in to help.
Cryo and Asuna just hiding under and held together, waiting for somebody to peek. That would be terrifying to see. And 100 Thieves take another one. And they're consistent in the confidence that they're taking these sites with. When they hit C, they're always on C. They have one lurk, it might be blue steel, but they're behind default, they're into the site, and Sentinels can't do much to get back in if they have not found one of the first kills in the round. An A play consists of just somebody continuously watching sewers. The blue steel goes down, and they still have it covered. They have an answer for everything they're doing. With the speed they're getting to the site, they have so much time to think about how Sentinels can get back in, and they're thinking about it right all the way home. Hunter's Fury here for Saucy. Up against Boostio's ult if they do find a body somewhere on the map. And back to just this default C, not default C, but this regular C strat.
Ini dibiarin kosong terus anjing Sentinel cok.
Then just floods way too much against Sentinels. Saucy now alone and forced to do nothing but save and attempt to save his Bulldog. It's going to be difficult though. Asuna winning low HP, the ADS not even needed. 4 kills in the round for 100 Thieves and they're starting.
Kalah ini Sentinel anjir. Lower ini Sentinel ini. Gak apa-apa teori lower nih, teori lower.
It is so much better when you get it when half of the team is alive, right? And obviously that's an easy thing to say, but what does it take to get the ult that early, right? The push going through mid, Boostio having read this utility round after round from garage to B, garage to B. And when they don't play the C strat again, who's the one making trouble for the rotation? Boostio.
And off the timeouts you're expecting here that someone's trying to push some players forward. You're seeing right now again an attempt here to put second down towards the sewers and a lower buy they currently have for the Sentinels, but for the Thieves, they don't mind. They're getting so many plants right now and even not afraid to fight towards the spawn and to continue to trap against 100 Thieves. And they're playing a continuous long attack side until finally Tens allows the first blood to score here for the Sentinels.
Little revenge. Little revenge there. Answers back. Wasn't Asuna, but he'll take it. Alright, and you see Sen not moving. Look at how much they expect it to still be anywhere on the map.